welcome to my YouTube channel again. Back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the first time I experienced a fake friend. Oh my God. Well, this probably wasn't the first time, but this is the only time that I could really remember, like when I really felt like hurt. Look at this, y'all. I love this. You need to get one of these. But when I actually really felt hurt and I experienced like fakeness, from what I remember, this was the most fakest shit, like, to start off with. Maybe kindergarten, first grade. Okay, a couple little fake things happened, but this was when I realized bitches are fake. So I'm gonna get into it. Put my hair back because of course I'm gonna do my makeup. I already put my primer on, Milani. You guys know this is my favorite primer of all time. So let's get into it. Damn, I know I was in middle school. I believe I was in 6th or 7th grade. I'm not even gonna cap. I don't remember exactly if it was 6th or 7th grade. By the way, all the products that I'm using will be in the description if you want to purchase any of the products. So just follow along with the makeup tutorial. Let me get a little bit closer because I want you guys to really be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so you know I had to start with the Huda Glowish. I love this. But yeah, you guys, so I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. I can't even really remember because I honestly, my coping mechanism, I tried to forget about shit because really, I will beat this bitch the fuck up. Even still, till this day, I don't like the bitch. But I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't like her still till this day. So, basically, like I said, I was in middle school. I wasn't really popular. I was like a church girl. And I used to wear like dresses to school, long skirts to school. I was very preppy. My grandmother didn't allow me to purchase anything that was trendy. So by default, I just had to fall in love with my wardrobe because that's all I had. And I was like, I'm not gonna hate what I have because this is what I have to work with. So I started creating my own style with the clothes. And I would dress like gothic. I would dress like emo. Because with all the preppy clothes I had, I was like, if I dress emo, I'm still going to look trendy. I'm still going to look good, you know? So that's what I did. But anyways, I was talking. Okay, so this guy was trying to talk to me. He was like the most popular kid in school. He was dating a girl in his grade. I believe he was 1 or 2 grades above me, ahead of me. Like I think I was, matter of fact, I think I was in 6th grade and he was like in 8th grade, something like that, or he was in 7th grade. I know he was a year and some change older than me. And the girl that he was dating, she was like I wouldn't say she was like a bully, but a lot of people were like scared of her. She was like a boxer. A lot of people were scared of her, this, that, and the third. Okay, so of course I was fucking scared of her too because I wasn't a fighter. I was not about that shit. Like, no. So basically, I don't know, he just one day like sat next to me in lunch and started talking to me and just made friends with me. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so cool. Shortly after that, he had broke up with that girl. And of course she didn't like me. Everybody was like egging her on to fight me. But she wasn't a bully. Like, she wasn't, which I thought she was, but she turned out not to be a bully. And I do appreciate that because actually we're still cool till this day. I actually seen her around and she's real sweet. But yeah, so basically he had broke up with her. Of course, she was mad. I'm pretty sure she didn't like me at first, which is understandable. I mean, I didn't really steal her boyfriend. That was like him. He was, now that I know him, like I still know him since then. He's a hoe. He's a hoe. He ain't shit. And that's just that. Like, so anyways, he had broke up with her and I'm like, oh my God, I was so shocked. I remember when my best friend, oh my God, and I'm gonna say your name, bitch, because I don't like you. Her name is Michelle. Michelle. I don't like this bitch. I'm gonna tell you why. We were best fucking friends, right? She knew I had like the craziest crush on this guy. Like, I had a fucking crush on him. I used to stare at him at lunch. Like, I was so shy. And one day he just came, sat next to me, started talking to me, broke up with that girl. And I mean, we would talk on the phone every day after school. Of course, I was a virgin. Of course, my grandma did not know I was on the phone with this boy. But I was on the phone with him. He was Dominican, light skinned, lighter than me. Because I know you guys want to say, but you're light skinned. No, he was lighter than me. And I was talking to him on the phone every day, like, oh my God, you know, I thought I was in love. I thought I knew what love was, but I didn't really know shit. So anyways, when he broke up with the girl, I remember Michelle coming up to me and she's like, oh my God, you know, Kevin broke up with, I'm not going to say her name because she's cool. I'm going to call her Lisa. She was like, Kevin broke up with Lisa. Oh my God. And I was like, really? And I didn't even really say anything because I didn't want people to assume that I was happy. Even though I was a little happy, I still felt kind of sad for Lisa because I was like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I have a good heart. I wouldn't want that to happen to me. And then I'm thinking, like, did he break up with her for me? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't even know this boy. But yeah, he broke up with her. So shortly after, like, I get his number. He writes it on a little paper. And, you know, we were talking every day after school. I remember when he told me he was in love with me, this and that, right? Y'all, when I tell you, we was talking for like, we was talking for like months, bro. Months. I'm telling you, I still know this guy till this day. This man is 29 going on 30. I know this man. He's probably already 30. Matter of fact, because he's older than me. So, back to the story. So, yeah, we was talking every day. Probably for like, damn, I want to say like a month or two. I want to say it was a minute. It was a minute. Next thing you know, I should have known he was a fucking backstabber too, because I tried to rekindle things with him because I thought this was my childhood love. And he's still the same fucking guy he was back in middle school, y'all. Like, I come to school. When I tell you I was fucking heartbroken, I was fucking heartbroken. Let me tell y'all. I came to fucking school, y'all. And, y'all. Let me tell, oh, I had to pause. I'm telling you. So I came to school and Michelle was in a relationship, full-blown relationship with this man. Literally full-blown relationship with this man. I'm gonna call him ugly. I'm gonna call him ugly. So Michelle was in a full-blown relationship with ugly, right? I'm like, oh my, I probably already said his name in the video, so fuck it. You could probably rewind and hear it, but whatever. So ugly was in a full-blown relationship with her. Like, I see them walking down the hallway. One of my nerdy friends, like, I was friends with all the geeks, like all the girls that like really did their work. the geeks, the kids who weren't cool. Like, I was a church girl, so those were my friends. And I remember this girl coming up to me. She was like a super nerd, glasses, Mexican, you know, the whole nine. So she comes up to me and she's like, girl, I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm going to tell you before you see it. This was a real ass bitch. She was like, I'm going to tell you before you see it. Michelle stole your boyfriend. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, Michelle stole your boyfriend. And I'm like, oh my God, girl. When I tell you, when I see Michelle walking down I still remember her fucking smiling ass face. I want to smack the fuck out of her face, bitch. What you smiling about? Bitch always smiling when she doing some trifling ass shit. So she's walking down the hallway with Ugly. And she's looking at me smiling like some shit is funny. And I'm like, and this was my best fucking friend. When I tell you she backstabbed me, she fucking backstabbed me for a man, for a nigga. Like, what the fuck? So I see her, and I was so strong even as a little girl because I didn't even react. When I tell you, like, I was hurt, but I just kept my composure, and I was just like, I'm not gonna let this bitch see me breaking or see me upset. So I kept my composure or whatnot, and this man, he didn't even look at me. He didn't even fucking look at me, and I'm glad he didn't look at me because I would have gave him a stank ass fucking look. Like, what you looking at, bitch? Backstabbing ass hoe. Mind you, we were in a relationship. Like, we wasn't public yet, but we were in a relationship. Like, I was his girlfriend. So I was so embarrassed, you guys. This was like probably the first time someone has made me feel so embarrassed. Like, teachers have embarrassed me and stuff like that growing up, you know, as a kid. But this was the first time that I was like publicly embarrassed. Like, I was so embarrassed. I didn't even want to go to school after that. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe I was on the phone with this boy getting ass whippings from my grandma to be on the phone with this boy so he could do this shit to me. Like, I was so hurt. And I didn't tell my grandma what was going on. But I was so fucking hurt. Anyways, I didn't let this bitch see that I was hurt. Because she fucking backstabbed me. She stole my boyfriend. Like, she knew everything. She would ask me every day in school, oh, you guys are still talking? Oh my God, so what's up with you and Kevin? Oh, I already said his name. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Fuck them both. They could die. Not they could die, but y'all, they're both still talking till this day. So, yeah. It's fucking weird. I don't give a fuck if it was in middle school. Bitch, you know what you was doing, hoe. So anyways, yeah, so she's like, yeah, what's up with Kevin, this and that. Getting information from me, you guys, just to steal my boyfriend. That's how trifling these bitches are. And it's crazy because nowadays, you would think these bitches would grow up from middle school. No. Trust me, if a bitch was trifling in middle school, she's trifling still. If a nigga was trifling in middle school, he's still trifling, bitch. Careful, because these people do not fucking change. They just get worse. Really. Unless some tragic shit happens to them, but 9 times out of 10, they the same motherfuckers they was back in the days. So, basically, she's smiling. He's not even looking at me, whatever. A few days later, word comes out that he broke up with her. Here he goes trying to ask me for forgiveness, calling my house phone, you know, getting cool with my older brother, or the whole nine. So at this point now, he's cool with my older brother. My older brother doesn't even know the shit that he did to me. Actually, my older brother still doesn't know till this day. I never told him what Kevin did to me. So somehow this motherfucker convinced me to get back with him, and I did, y'all. And we was on and off together from like I would say from like 15, I'm on and off, y'all. On and off, meaning like we was together, then we broke up. We broke up for like a year or two. Again, it was the same situation. Michelle, the same bitch, kept coming in and out of the situation. So it was like he was going to her, coming to me, going to her, coming to me, going to her, coming to me, saying that I was the main one, and da-da-da. You already know. So I had broke up with him because I found out he was still in contact with her. And he had gotten close to my family. Like, him and my brother is cool. He had moved to New York because at this time I lived in Rhode Island. So it's like 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours away from New York. He was living in the Bronx. And my brother lived in Manhattan. So I would go visit. And now, by this time, y'all, I'm like 17, right? I'm going to New York to visit my family, but low-key is because I wanted to see him. So I would go to New York. I would take the bus, go up there, visit him. Like, my grandfather would let him sleep over. My grandfather was giving it. I was still a virgin, y'all. And my grandfather was giving him condoms. Like, listen, if y'all ever end up having sex, like, I just want my granddaughter to be protected. I don't want her getting pregnant. Like, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather's a real one for doing that, because that, at the end of the day, like, teenagers are gonna do what they want. You feel me? And we definitely did, though. We definitely did. But teenagers are gonna do what they want, and I'm glad that he was there and like he did that, because I really didn't have a father in my life. So he was kind of like a father figure, but he was also in and out. So it was weird, but he was there for me at that time. Like, he did what he had to do, and he was like, yeah, this and that, whatever. So this man was cool with my fucking family, y'all. Like, and we're fucking now at this time. So we're fucking, da 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 da. Again, I found out he's talking to the bitch. The bitch moves to New York, y'all. The bitch moves to New York from my city. They're talking again. Yo, I would not be surprised if he marries this bitch. Because if they still talking and he's still trying to go back and forth between us. Like, when I tell you guys, through the pandemic in 2020, this man hit me up. We was on the phone every day. Like, I went to New York to go see him. Y'all, but I'm going to get into that later. Let me get back to the story. So I found out he was still talking to the bitch. Oh, I dropped my brush. I found out he was still talking to the bitch. And of course, you know what the fuck I did. Nigga, it's over. I was so fucking mad. I just walked out of my grandfather's house. I didn't say nothing to nobody. My whole family is so confused because I was not like a rebellious teenager. Like, I was not rebellious. So my family is like so confused. Like, why is she acting out? Why is she storming out of the house? Like, I don't do shit like that. I don't disrespect my family like that. So they think it's me just acting up because they have only ever seen him in a good light. I've only ever painted him in a good light to my family. I've never told him, like, they didn't know the shit we was going through. And I spared this motherfucker's life because real shit, my brother would have beat the fuck out of him. If around that time when my brother didn't have no kids, my brother would have beat the fuck out of him if he knew that this nigga was playing me like that. But I was trying to spare him. Like, I didn't even want to tell my brother. And on top of that, he was a ugly. He was a black belt. So it would have been an epic ass fight for real, because he was a black belt, and then my cousin is also a black belt. My cousin also fights and professionally. Like, he was a kickboxer. So my cousin would have got involved. It would have been a whole mess for real. So I just decided to not even really to not even like involve certain people in the situation, because I already knew how it was gonna get. Like, you know what I'm saying? I already knew shit was gonna get ugly. So, you know, I didn't tell my brother or whatnot. And it is what it is. So I didn't tell my brother. Yeah. We break up. And actually, that was that. I just was seeing him on social media. And I kind of moved on with my life. I just became really, I went through a lot after we broke up, because that's when I was going through like a rebellious stage. I was like, fuck everybody. I was just hurt. And I was growing. 17, going on 18. It's like a really crucial time in your life. Fast forward now, I'm like, I think it was like 26, 27. The pandemic hits. I'm sitting there in my aunt's house and I'm like, for some reason, I was going through my Facebook messages. I don't know why I keep coughing, y'all. I'm going through my Facebook old messages. When I tell y'all, I found his new Facebook. And I was like, oh my God. Because I saw that he had messaged me a long time ago. And so I was like, oh my God. I said, let me see if he has a new account, because the account that he had, he still had the old pictures from like middle school. So I'm like, he must have a new account. Y'all, I find his new account. And for sure, I hit him up. And I'm like, hey, oh my God, it's been so long. Like, what's up? He hits me back immediately. Immediately. He's like, hey, what's up? Oh my God, you look great. How are you? Like, you know, this and that. And he's like, oh my God, you changed so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I'm not the same person. You know, I'm a grown-ass woman now, whatever. We're talking, we're laughing, we're vibing. Like, it was, y'all, when I tell you, I thought I was going to really marry this man. That's how it was. Like, I really thought that me and him was going to get married. I'm talking about, even my grandma asked me, like, why don't you just get with Ugly? Like, he's always been there. Because my family doesn't know the shit that he did. So remember, they're still looking at him like, oh my God, that's the guy that you know, that's the guy, that's the one. And I'm like, if y'all only fucking knew, he's a bitch. But I didn't say nothing. So, you know, I decide that I'm going to take it upon myself to figure out if he is the one, because my grandma literally just fucking told me that shit. She's like, why don't you just, she pulled me to the side and was like, why don't you just deal with him? Like, come on, like, deal with him. So I'm like, all right, I take her words into consideration. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I've been being rebellious. You know, this and that. Let me do this one thing for my grandma to make her happy, because I know she likes this dude. And you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to see what's up with him. It's been a minute, but I'm willing to see what's up with him. So I go to New York, y'all. I swear to God. I don't know why I booked the bus trip. I could have booked the flight. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, because I hate to fly. So my dumb ass booked the fucking Greyhound ticket, knowing I had money too. Like, I'm dumb. I'm thinking, oh no, it's gonna, because the bus said it was gonna get there express. So I'm like, oh, it's cool. I'm gonna just sit on the bus. You know, I was like, and I'm old school. So I really wanted to experience a bus trip, since I haven't been on the bus for so many years, and I was already going back in time fucking with this nigga. So I was like, might as well. So I take the bus. The bus takes days to get there. Like, horrible. It was horrible. He's on the phone with me the whole time. Like, he's being real supportive. Like, oh my God, don't worry, don't cry, just relax. You're gonna get here. Like, I'm like, I don't even know why I did this. He probably was thinking that I didn't have any money, or I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but I was thinking I was dumb as fuck for doing that, and I will never do that again. But anyways, I get to New York. I get to New York around, like, I think it was like 6 in the morning when I got there. He was up. I took a Uber from the station all the way to the Bronx. I think the station was in Manhattan. So I take a Uber from Manhattan to the Bronx. I get off. Y'all, I could literally see him right now walking. I could literally picture him right now walking. He's walking, and I started crying. I started crying when I seen him. He doesn't even know. Like, tears was coming down my face, and I was just like, and I just started like wiping my face really fast because I was so emotional. Remember, I was so in love with this guy for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so hurt. And to see him again after so many years, it was just like, he looked the same. Like, it just reminded me of being a kid. It just reminded me of like who I am. And you know what? I'm glad that we did reconnect because it reminded me of like who I really am as a person. Like, I'm classy. I'm not ratchet. I'm a catch. I'm that bitch for real. So it just reminded me of that, like who I am. And basically he's walking across the street to get me because I had just got out of the Uber. And he's smiling. I'm smiling. Oh my God, y'all. It was the best shit ever. The best feeling ever. Like, to see someone that you were so in love with and that claimed to be so in love with me, but really wasn't. To me, it was a great feeling. So, boom. We go. He's like lives with his mother in the Bronx. They live in a 2-bedroom. I know what you guys are thinking. What is she doing with this bum ass nigga? I know. But I was just like, it's him. It's ugly. Like, I'm not gonna call him by his real name. It's ugly. Like, Ugly was a black belt growing up. Like, he was a fighter. And now to see him as an adult and see that, like, he's a trainer, like, he stayed true to the stuff that he's into. Like, I was so in love with this man. So, I'm there with him at his mama's house. His mama at work. When his mama comes in and she says hi to me, because he's like, oh, you gotta say hi to my mom or whatever. My mom's like asking about you. She know you was gonna come. I say hi to her. She give me an attitude. Red flag. So when the mama give you an attitude, it's either because the nigga talking to a bitch or the nigga got a girlfriend. Or he done said some fucked up shit about you. One of the three. So, but the one, I'm like clairvoyant, meaning like I can feel things and I can see things in pictures. What came to me immediately was her. I was like, he must still be fucking with this bitch, Michelle. Y'all, the mother didn't like me because she knew he was still fucking with Michelle from middle school. I never met his mom. Actually, when his mom used to come to my grandpa's house to go get him, my grandpa lives in Manhattan. He lived in the Bronx. He lived in the Bronx since he moved, since like 17 all the way till now. So back in the days when his mom used to come get him and stuff, like try to get him to come home because he would not want to leave the house, leave my grandpa's house. She would just come to the door. He would come, she would knock on the door. He would come to the door. She never really formally met me. So when she finally formally met me, like, I already knew something was up, y'all. I knew something was up because remember, the only bitch she formally met was Michelle. Yo, this nigga was so foul, so fucking dirty. He introduced his mother to her mother. What a bitch, right? Yeah. My best friend. Yeah, the bitch. So, let me tell y'all. I'm going to continue to tell y'all this fucking story. So, basically, I'm there. I think I was only there for like a week, y'all. We're chilling. Y'all, I'm just like so infatuated because I haven't seen him in so long. So I throw myself at him. Dumbest thing I did, y'all. Dumbest thing I did. I fucked the shit out of him as soon as I got there. Like, on God. And it was good. It was good as fuck though. I swear to God, it was real good. Alright, so immediately I fall back in love with this nigga because it's like, oh my God, like memories, like, oh my God, he was my first boyfriend, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking he's falling for me too. Yo, when I tell you everything was good, like we chilling, we this, we that, I find out, okay, so we were just talking in the kitchen about something. And he was like, yeah, cause, you know, Michelle's mom, you know, I love her. And then that shit threw me the fuck off. I was like, I made a fit. I was like, Michelle's mom. Bro, he knew immediately. Immediately, this nigga knew I was not fucking with that shit. He's like, I storm off to the bathroom and I start doing my hair because I'm just like, I'm not fucking with this nigga after this. Like, I was so fucking pissed. I'm like, so he's still talking to the bitch. Like, wow. You know? So he comes to, he's like, are you okay? Listen, I'm sorry. Like, so I just got tired of the bullshit, the back and forth that we've been going for the past fucking 10 years, my nigga. We've been back and forth about this, me, you, and this bitch in this fucking love cycle. So I just let him know, like, listen, it's me or her, bro. That's it. Like, you're gonna have to pick one. It's me or her. This man says, I don't know who to choose. Okay. I actually missed an important part of the story. I got to the love part first, but let me tell you guys what I did in that week while I was there. Mind you, it is the pandemic, so no, this is when everything was closed. Nobody was getting money. New York was closed. You had to wear masks. Like, it was, I could have died going up there just to see him, on God. I could have caught COVID, and I risked my fucking life. And I had helped him get his unemployment. I sat with him on the computer. He didn't even want to do it. He was like, nah, this shit too complicated. I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, no, you need to get this unemployment. My aunt calls me. I step outside to speak to her. You know what my aunt tells me? I tell her, she's like, what you doing? Because she live in the Bronx too. I'm like, nothing over here, you know, with my ex. I'm helping him get his unemployment, this and that. We doing the application. My aunt is a real ass bitch. And my aunt already know about him. So she know the real tea about him. So she tell me, I don't even know why you helping that nigga get his fucking unemployment. Because you know what he's going to do, right? You know what he's going to do. He's going to get that money and he's going to take another bitch out for dinner. You know that, right? She's like, you know that, right? I'm like, no, he's not gonna do that. Like, just chill. I said, you know what? And even if he does that, that's his money. Like, I'm just trying to help him out. Me being optimistic, thinking like, there's no way he's gonna do this to me. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I didn't even know he was still talking to Michelle. I'm thinking Michelle is obsolete. It's been 10 years. There's no way he's still talking to that bitch. Yo. I'm telling you. So, This man did exactly what my aunt told me he was gonna do. He got his unemployment. Okay. By the time he got his unemployment, y'all, I was already back in North Carolina. Remember, we had that big ass fight. I stormed the fuck out of the house. Like, you talking about you don't know who to choose, my nigga. I cursed him the fuck out. I was like, oh, you call Michelle when the fuck you need something. Where's Michelle at right now trying to help you get your shit together? Where's Michelle at when you was crying on my fucking shoulder, my nigga? You was just crying on my fucking shoulder yesterday talking about you depressed. Like, I don't even know why I was trying to be Captain Save a nigga. But it was just crazy. But anyways, I did that. And I storm off. I'm in New York. I'm feeling dumb as fuck. Because I'm like, I could have been in Charlotte trying to get a place. Like, I had just moved to Charlotte. I had left my old apartment up north. I was living with my aunt. This man thinking that I don't have a place. He think I'm living with family. Really, I just left my apartment. Really, I just was in the middle of moving. And then the pandemic just hit out of nowhere. So it was like just a bad time in my life. And I still risked it all to go the fuck out there. Okay, so I'm feeling stupid as fuck. I'm in New York. I'm in the Bronx. I go to this bar and I start taking shots. I'm like I cannot fucking believe. Mind you, I just felt dumb as fuck. What am I doing here? Okay. Within this week, like the last couple days too, he was like asking me like, oh, when you plan on going back to Charlotte? Like trying to like give me a low-key little attitude. Like I was just like, who is this person? But then it all started coming back to me. Oh, he's been this person the whole fucking time. He's a bitch. He's a bitch ass nigga. But I didn't see it until now. So I'm like, man, I can't believe I came to New York for this. So I'm at this bar, I'm taking shots back, whatever. He calls me. He's like, where you at? He's like, are you at that bar? I said, how do you know? He goes like this. He points at his head like the nigga's telepathic or some shit. Yes, we've been connected since we were fucking teenagers. So yeah, you probably know me, but you don't know me like that. So don't get too fucking comfortable, nigga, cause it ain't like that. Okay. But he knew where I was at. He knew I was at a bar because I was mad as fuck. And he's telling me he's going to walk down the street to the bar. I'm like, nah, I'm going to walk up the street to you. Like, I was being a bitch. I walk up the street to him. I'm like, what's up? He's like, you want to just go to the bar then together? I'm like, yeah, let's go to the bar together. I got you. I'm going to get you a drink. Now, I'm already mad, but I'm already lit, and I'm on some, you know what, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I'm smiling in his face. Yeah. The girl at the bar, bro, when I tell you we was having a great time until the girl at the bar had asked me, she was like, it looks like they knew him too. Like, he's just a hoe. It seemed like all the bitches at the bar knew him. Like, they're all smiling. This nigga's a hoe. And so we're at this little bar right by his house. And I don't know if you guys know where 3rd Ave is, but it was by 3rd Ave. So we're over there. The girl asked me, oh, so how long you guys knew each other? I swear to God, why did she ask me that? Why the fuck did she ask me that? Listen, after that, it was over. She asked me, so how long y'all knew each other? I said, it's funny that you ask. I know this man. This is my first. he gets mad as fuck, right? Because I start telling the girl I'm his first. And the reason why he's mad as fuck is because he tries to say that I didn't bleed when we fucked. This nigga's retarded because I did bleed. I just didn't bleed a lot like he expected. And first of all, we fucked in my grandfather's house. How the fuck are you not, like, come on, bro. Like, you being petty right now. You being real petty right now. So he's like mad as fuck, whatever. I don't even know what he's mad at. And I'm not giving a fuck because I'm drunk already. So I'm like, yeah, it's funny that you asked. Yeah, I know him since middle school. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, and he cheated on me with my own best friend, girl. Oh my God, yes. And I came to see him in the fucking pandemic, girl. And you know what else? He's still talking to the bitch. Yeah, and you know what else? He told me he don't know who to choose. Oh my God, girl, I feel so dumb. Yep, and I'm about to go home in the morning. Yeah, yes, yes. And she's looking at me like she cannot, and he's looking at me like he cannot believe that I'm spreading all the business. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, yeah, he ain't shit, girl. I'm just letting you know. She's like, oh my God. So she kind of just like walks away because she doesn't want no smoke. Like, she doesn't even want to get involved. And I'm like, as you should, bitch. Do not get involved because you don't want to get slapped. So he is mad as fuck. He's like, I cannot believe you just did that. Like, I live here. Like I know people here. Like, I gotta live here. Like, why are you telling people our business? And I'm just like, what the fuck you mean telling people our business? You already fucking embarrassed me. Like, I'm already in fucking New York over here. You talking about you don't know who to choose? Nigga, I'm making it easy for you. I'm making it real fucking easy for you right now. And I'm drunk as fuck too, so I'm on my bullshit. I'm like, listen. So I'm talking to him greasy as fuck. I'm like, you don't know who to choose, nigga? I'm helping you. I'm making it fucking easy for you. So now, I just gave you an excuse. Now you can pick her. You don't know who to pick, nigga. Pick her. Fuck. So, he storms off out of the bar. And I'm like, I'm laughing. Like, I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm like, fuck this fucking nigga. Like, he's a bitch. Like, he's been doing this shit to me for years. Going back and forth with the same raggedy ass bitch. Like, who don't do shit. Like, I don't know. I just don't like the bitch. Mind you, she was my best friend. So, I'm already looking at the bitch like she's trash. Like, first of all, if a bitch could do that to her own best friend, what makes you think the bitch got any loyalty to you? Like, think about that. Like, for real. But you know what? Niggas is stupid. So, anyways, I leave the bar because I'm going to go chase after him like a dumbass because I was drunk. So, I chase after him. I'm like, yo, listen, whatever. We start arguing in his hallway where he live at. And he's like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Like, you embarrassed me. I'm like, nigga, you been embarrassing me. Like, fuck is you talking about? So he gets so mad. He punches the fucking concrete. And on the, like, we're in the hallway. He punched the wall and shit. And that shit is concrete. So I don't know if he broke his finger. I don't know what the fuck happened, guys. But I didn't give a fuck. Like, I was like, yeah, that's why you fucking broke your shit, nigga. Bitch. Like, I'm going off, bro. I'm going off. Like, disrespecting the fuck out of him. I don't care. He already disrespected me by telling me he don't know who to fucking choose. Like, you don't know who to choose. Let me make it easy for you. Let me make it real fucking easy for you. So, after that little argument we had, it was a bad one. It was probably the worst argument we've ever had. And I knew it was the last. I knew it was going to be the last argument. Because I made sure it was going to be our last fucking argument. So we had that argument, y'all. I went in the house. Oh, listen to this. We had the argument. I storm off. I'm crying. I go back to the bar and I get more fucked up. I'm talking about I get litty. Like litty. I can't even barely walk, dog. I go right back to his house. At this time, his mom is already home. I storm in and I already knew the mom was talking shit about me because he already told me. The mom was talking shit like, oh, when is that girl going back to North Carolina? First of all, bitch, I just got here. I only been here 3 fucking days. Like, it was barely, I was in New York for a week, but I wasn't in his house for a week. I was in his house for 3 days. 3 days. I don't live with y'all. I'm visiting. Like, fuck. Like, it's so weird. So I go in, I storm in the house, and I'm not giving 2 fucks. The mom is there. She looking at me storming in the shit. I'm grabbing my shit. I'm cursing him out. I'm like, yeah, and I don't give a fuck. I'm yelling. I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck him. Fuck you and your fucking mother, bitch. So, and whatever the fuck you told her about me, I don't give a fuck. She want to judge me, fuck her ass too. I don't care. So I go in the fucking house. I grab my shit. And I slam the fucking door and I leave. And yeah, I go to my aunt's house. I'm crying in the Uber and shit, you know. I go to my aunt's house. My aunt was like, what did I tell you? What the fuck did I fucking tell you, bitch? You should not be helping no grown-ass man do shit. Like, I'm like, yeah, but you know, like, he was my first boyfriend. Like, I wanted to help him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want him to be, like, struggling and broke in a fucking pandemic. Like, you know, I wanted him to at least have some money on him. Because I got a good heart. My aunt's like, bitch, you need to stop with that good heart shit. That's what's got you fucked up. That's why everybody keep fucking treating you like that. Because you too fucking nice. And I'm like, yeah, you right. I'm crying and shit. Yo, that same night, my aunt starts arguing with her man. And boom, I hit him up like a dumbass. And I'm like, hey, my aunt is arguing with her man right now. Like, can I come over? And he's like, all right, come over. I come over. He opens the door. We hug immediately. It was like, honestly, it was the best hug I ever had. Like, I needed that hug. I did. And he knew it. He knew he fucked up. We hugged. It still didn't fix anything because I already knew he was a bitch. So, y'all, I'm done with my makeup, though. But we hugged. We talked. And it was pretty much the same outcome. Like, I tried to see if I could fix things with him. But he flipped the whole script on me and made it seem like he was cutting me off because of what I did. Like, nigga, you the one that did the shit, not me. Like, I didn't fuck your homeboy. Like, I could have really fucked your brother. Let's keep it 100. I could have really did that, but I never violated you. But all right, it's cool. So, long story short, guys, I stormed out of his crib again. And that was the last time I seen him. When I got back to North Carolina, because I'm a Libra and I'm so emotional and I'm so sensitive, I tried to call him and I tried to see like what was up, just to at least be friends with him. I was like, listen, like let's just be friends. Like we've known each other for so long, like, and I really thought he was gonna be the one because of what my grandmother said. I never ever heard her say some shit like that to me, like that I should be with somebody. Usually she hates everybody that I deal with, any guy that I deal with. So for her to like him, I don't know if it was because he was Dominican or what. Maybe it was because he was Dominican. I don't fucking know. But my grandma was fucking with him. So long story short, that was that, y'all. I stopped fucking with him, and he blocked me on all social media platforms like a bitch. And I don't give a fuck. He could really suck a dick and die. I don't give a fuck. And really, that's it. That is my story of the first time that I found out bitches are fake. My first fake ass friend. Thank you guys for listening to the story. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to find the camera. I think it's over here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I love y'all. Mwah!